Before we get into, before we get into Second Date Update, and today it is a brand new Second Date Update. At the end of Second Date Update, we have a major announcement about Second Date Update.
Yeah, it's kind of mind-blowing, to be honest. So, hold on for that.
Hang in there. It's coming up at the end of Second Date Update. Tara is looking for a Second Date Update with a guy named Jack. How are you, Tara?
Good. Thanks so much for having me on.
We appreciate you coming on and putting yourself out there on Second Date Update. We never know if these are going to go well or not so well. So thank you for taking that chance.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm just really excited to be dating again. Like, I spent so many months working from home and, like, not dating or really doing anything at all, you know? So it's kind of nice to get back out there and social and meeting people and, like, actually seeing people, you know? And I'm interested in finding a boyfriend, and I've been single for a couple of years, and I'm just like, I'm over it, you know, and I'm ready for a family and, you know, everything that sort of comes along with that.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, do you think you'd be ready for that kind of commitment had COVID not happened, or do you think that helped precipitate your desire for a one-on-one monogamous relationship?
That's a really good question. You know, I think I would still want it, you know, when the pandemic started. Like, obviously I was doing more social stuff, but I really, I mean, I would like to say that I would still want it. I'm ready. You know, I see everyone around me doing it, and I'm ready.
You're at that point in your life where you're ready to pull the trigger.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so how'd you meet Jack?
So actually, I met him online, and we went to dinner. And honestly, like, I thought things went really well. Like, I'm not going to say that he's, like, the one, but I obviously, like, can't say that he's not, you know.
That's honest.
Like,
yeah, well, hey, you haven't eliminated him from the pool yet.
Yeah, you know, and honestly, like, I don't really know him. Like, I feel like you have to spend, like, at least a good 24 hours with somebody before you know them. And, like, you just never know. You know, sometimes people have 2 to 3 what seems like deal breakers, but then it's like if you discount every single deal breaker you hear, you're just going to end up alone and never meet anybody. And then trying to, like, put that aside, you know, we had a really great date. I found him funny, and I thought he was, you know, really nice, charming, and, you know, we definitely had enough in common. And honestly, I didn't find any deal breakers. So, like,
that's good
for me. I want to move forward with another date and, like,
get to know him a little better.
Yeah, and, like, I said, you know, will you call me later? And he said, okay. And then I texted him a few times, and I haven't heard anything.
Well, it's refreshing to hear you talk about him the way that you do, because I can't tell you how many love at first sight stories we get on Second Date Update, where it's like, oh, and I met him, and he was so gorgeous, and I just was, we had instant chemistry, and I just knew he was the one. Yeah, so it sounds like you're thoughtful.
Yes, very thoughtful.
You just never know, you know?
Right.
Sure.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to take a break here, but when we come back, Tara, we're going to call Jack and see what he thought of you and his date with you as Second Date Update continues here on Cincinnati's Q102. Hang on. All right, Tara's about ready for a relationship. Maybe get married, maybe have children. It sounds like you spent most of COVID kind of sitting, dating out.
Yes, absolutely.
And it felt good to get back out there. She met Jack online. They had a nice dinner, and wouldn't say it was love at first sight, but at least there were no deal breakers. And he seemed like a nice, charming enough guy, someone she'd like to get to know more. And he seemed to feel the same way. In fact, it seemed like they were going to get together again, maybe reach out, do another date. But when she texted him that night, she didn't hear a response, and then he never reached back out. So far, it's been radio silence. And that was how long ago?
We went out last weekend.
Yeah, so it's been a few days. Yeah, we're due.
Yeah.
Anything else you think we need to know, Tara, before we make the call?
No, you know, I'm really excited.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious, too. Let's see what we find out. Hi, is this Jack?
Yep, this is Jack.
Hey, Jack, it's Jeff and Jenn at Q102. How are you this morning?
The dating people?
Is that who we are? Are we the dating people now?
People.
I know what this is about.
You know we're calling about Tara, or you just know this is a Second Date Update call?
I know it's about Tara, and I know that's what you guys do.
Okay. Well, can you talk to us about Tara? Because she said you seem like a nice guy, and she was hoping to get to know you better, but are you not feeling the same way?
Well, basically, Tara has no sense. None.
What? Why do you say that?
She's pretty irresponsible.
How so?
Well, when the date was ending, I wasn't sure if I should hug her, with everything going on, and she said that she was safe.
She was safe?
Then she was safe. Here's the thing, is that she had tested positive 10 days ago for COVID and was asymptomatic but safe.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, and I just was in my mind going, what?
So you didn't find that you didn't find this out till the end of the date?
To the end of the date.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, it's like, how does she know that she's safe? I mean, I get it, the asymptomatic, but it's like, to me, that's just BS, man. I mean, people are running around, quote unquote, asymptomatic, or even with symptoms after having tested positive for this thing, 10 days before, and just know that they're okay. Like, we don't know that.
Oh, it's good. I'm safe.
I don't know that.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what the CDC's telling me.
But regardless, it's like, we don't have any really clue what this stupid virus does. It affects everybody differently. And
True.
we don't really know what's safe and what isn't. And all I know is that if you're 10 days out from diagnosis, you don't need to be out in public. I mean, I would have respected it more if she would have just rescheduled the date. But I was just stunned when she told me.
Or at least given you the option, maybe, or at least let you know and said,
right.
hey, I'm 10 days out from this.
FYI.
Would you want to, because it seems like every business is different right now with how they're running it. There are some that are like 10 days. There are some stay out 14 days. There are some that you don't even get, you have a negative test, but they still want you to stay out for 14 days, know? And schools are all different.
Some people won't even let you
required.
come back to work until you test negative, which is sometimes like months.
Well, that's exactly my point, and I was pissed about it because I'm still pissed just thinking about it now.
Okay. Well, how you feeling, Jack? I mean, health-wise, it sounds like you're doing all right.
I feel fine, but it's just it's just the principle of the matter. It's like it's not even. I don't worry so much about my safety, even as in the safeties of others around me.
Okay.
Right.
Let's ask Tara. Tara, if I understand this, based on what Jack has said, you had tested positive for coronavirus, but you were asymptomatic, and 10 days after your positive diagnosis, you were comfortable enough to go out in public and weren't worried about spreading coronavirus or anything. This was based on CDC guidelines, is that right?
Well, my doctor, the one that I've been going to for years, after I called him, he said 10 days. And it was the 10th day. I did 10 days. And I was fine. Honestly, I think you're overreacting. And I think that people just need to relax.
I disagree. I mean, I think you need to respect this virus. It's killed literally almost over 500,000 people in this country.
I forget, Fritchie, when you had coronavirus, and you came back that Monday, that was what, 10 days after?
That was
you been tested again?
14. That was like the 14th day mark for me. But no, I didn't have to get tested again.
But you were remarkably, you had some pretty bad symptoms there for a while, and then you were much better. So you felt almost 100% by the time you came back, and you've since regained your sense of taste and smell.
Yes, for sure. And I will tell you, my boyfriend had the COVID pneumonia, and he still was technically, his doctor was like, he's not contagious. He could have gone back to work at the 14-day mark. He didn't because of the fact that he still felt like crap, but he would have been able to go. And he even developed the pneumonia. But it's different for everyone. And I will tell you, it's also interesting because people do kind of I don't know if judge is the right word, but it feels like you have to reveal the fact that you've been COVID positive if you are going out with someone, just because everyone does feel differently about it.
Tara, did you consider mentioning to Jack, hey, just an FYI, I tested positive for coronavirus, but it was 10 days ago and I'm asymptomatic, but according to CDC guidelines, I'm good. Are you cool with that? Did you ever consider maybe letting him in on it, or
No,
was that not even a thought?
Because I felt fine. I had done the amount of time, and now, I did, and that was it.
And it's not something everybody has to reveal. I just remember we have a cousin of ours that we didn't know had coronavirus. And we were like, hey, do you want to come over our house and watch the game or whatever? And she's like, I have to reveal to you that we had COVID. Do you care? And I'm like, Like when? You know what I mean? One of those things where it was like, I know you're around people all the time when you go to the grocery store that have been COVID positive,
Just the difference there is you've got no control over that.
Right.
You can choose whether or not
True.
you want to be with somebody, that's been knowingly diagnosed.
Yeah.
So no chance of a second date, I'm guessing, huh, Jack?
No, I think I'm good.
All right. While we're on the topic, does anyone have any viruses or diseases they would like to reveal in this open forum?
Not
Just
that I
get
am
it
currently
out.
aware of.
Let it go.
No.
Got nothing I know
I don't
of.
think same.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you both coming on Second Date Update. Tara, again, we appreciate you putting yourself out there. And Jack, we appreciate you taking the call and having the conversation with us.
Yep, not a
Yeah,
problem.
thanks.
Take care, stay healthy, stay safe, people.
Yes, please.
All right, you need our help with the Second Date Update. Send us an email, Jeff and Jen at WKRQ.com.
And speaking of Second Date Update,
Oh, this is exciting.
yeah, we are pretty pumped to announce something new on the Jeff and Jen Morning Show about Second Date Update.
Something people have been clamoring for years.
Yeah, and I don't even really know what this is ultimately going to look like, but we're going to try this and just sort of see how it goes. We've had a lot of people ask us, so when you guys are doing Second Date Update, like some of these crazy stories and things that happen on Second Date, like you've got to be, like, what's the expression on your face? Like you got to be sending signals to each other about this, that, or the other thing, or your reactions to some of these have just got to be, are you kidding me?
Yeah, well, and people wonder, it's like if you ever gotten ones that don't air, that you can't air for
Sometimes.
certain reasons.
Sometimes, yes.
Are there things going on that maybe make it difficult or impossible for you to broadcast it
Every
for
now
a
and then.
multitude of different reasons? And it's
Sometimes.
like, yeah, sometimes.
Are we streaming this announcement, or is this? Oh, okay.
No, he's
sorry.
just
He's just shooting B-roll?
Yep.
All right, sorry.
B-roll.
I didn't know if you needed something.
He needed this for his mom and pop spot, right, Tim?
yeah,
Gotcha, okay.
yeah,
We're just doing all kinds of fun things here, Jeffrey.
yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah, so this is what we have. We have a collection of Second Date Updates that have never made it on the air for all kinds of different reasons.
Because they sucked.
No,
I'm
that's-
kidding. No, that's
Actually,
not true.
it's usually the polar opposite of that. It's like they're so juicy.
Yes.
They're so just like, oh my God, that's so good, but we can't put that on the radio.
Yeah,
And whether it's because of something super personal that we revealed,
right.
that might just be inappropriate for, there's a lot of
A
different
little
reasons.
too much information.
A little too much information.
Or a second thought, like, I don't want that out there.
Yeah, that isn't for the masses.
Right.
That's for the select few who really love the show.
This is
love Second Date Update.
Delicate subject.
For people that understand us.
Yeah. And accept us for who we are and will not judge us for the things that we reveal.
Well, and it's true. There are a lot of people who really don't get us.
Right. And we would get maybe complaint emails that, quite frankly, we just don't want to have to deal with.
Yeah, no. And we get them all the time.
It's true. That's true. So this is what we've done. We have this collection of Second Date Updates that we are going to offer up to you, but there's only one way for you to get them. You have to download the Q102 app and register. And then a couple of times a week, you're going to get a special notification with a password. You're going to need that password to unlock Second Date Update Uncensored.
Yeah, and it's going to be a special password each time. Is that right?
That is correct. And so we're giving you a heads up now because we want you this weekend to make sure you get that app downloaded and get registered. Make sure that you have your notifications turned on to get full access because we're launching this next week.
Right.
Yeah.
On Monday, correct?
I believe.
It's happening we're going to have one for you on Monday.
Yep.
All right. So to be clear, download the app if you haven't already. Make sure you're registered. Now, here's my question, Tim. If they've already downloaded the app, do they have to re-register or would they already be considered registered? Because you know we're going to
I
get
think
asked
they're
that.
already registered, but make sure your notifications are turned on within the app settings.
In
I
order
will
to get full
I
access.
will verify that and have a complete answer for you. Maybe later by the end of the show, if not Monday morning.
Okay. I know that my notifications are turned on because I'm getting them at all different times of day. So.
Yeah, same.
Good.
But that's
So, I
the
mean,
important thing.
Yeah, this is exciting. This is fun. We're so glad to be able to have this opportunity to share these because, we spend a lot of time talking to people on the phone with second date updates. And,
True.
It sucks when we spend 20 minutes with somebody or a couple of people and then nothing ever becomes of it. So now we have this way to bring it.
And I think, too, a lot
To
of people
people.
ask us when we're out, like, I wish I could be there with you while this is happening. And it's like, see your faces and hear what's going on behind the scenes. And, you're going to get a little more of that in here.
I'm still a little unsure about this.
You always are.
Yeah,
It'll be
you
fine.
might want to be because I know what's in some of these.
I have had
remember.
second thoughts about it, and I'm like, I don't know.
Nope.
I'm still going to feel a little, weird about putting some of this stuff out there. And some of this stuff, we're going to look back on it and we'll be like, we probably could have aired that.
Yeah.
We could probably, with a few edits and a few bleeps, we could probably ultimately put that on the air someday.
So they're unedited, they're uncensored. There may be a swear word here and there. That kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Might pop up.
And
18 and up, you said?
I believe that you have to click. You have
Actually,
to be.
you got to be 18 and up.
Yeah.
That's
18
an
and up.
important point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it does have adult nature,
Content.
content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There would
18
be a
and up.
warning label on this.
Yes, for sure.
I do have to. I have to make an admission about something. Is in the beginning, I did kind of edit these a little bit, just because I wasn't quite in the mind frame of completely like
Because
releasing these
that's so
uncensored.
counterintuitive for us.
I know. It just felt so wrong and weird. So the first few of these might seem a little,
Might have a bleep or two.
yeah, but I promise they're going to become more open and less as we.
Now that we know we have an outlet
Yes.
to actually say what we're really thinking sometimes without hesitation or without self-editing and
Yeah.
with the ability to be really honest and share. I mean, it's kind of like the cable version of us.
That's true, and I'm glad you said that because when I was going through these and I was editing some of these, the intent was for these to go on the radio, and it wasn't until after these were edited that I was like,
We just can't.
we can't put this on the air, and
Yeah.
so we kind of just set it aside. So those will be released, and so that's why at first you'll hear what sounds like censorship, and you'll be like, "Well, I
Little
thought these
bit.
were supposed to be uncensored," but trust me, once we get through those
Right.
first few, they'll start.
Yeah, because now we have the freedom, as we're talking to these people, if we know that, hey, we can really say what we're really wanting to say here and it not just end up on the cutting room floor,
Yeah.
then, that loosens us up to do more, share more, say more.
Got to get the app.
Yep.
You got to get
that
the app. So again, if you want to listen to these uncensored second date updates, and that's what we're calling a second date update, uncensored, download the Q102 app, register. A couple times a week, you'll get a special notification with a password, a unique password. And as long as you got those notifications turned on, you'll have full access to them.
Yep. Rock and roll.
18 and
This'll
up.
be fun.
Okay.
Starting Monday.
There
I'm
it is.
ready.
Okay, coming up next. Do we want to do 1K letter of the day next?
Well,
Or do we want to sneak in that Bruno Mars song first?
either way.
Let's listen to Bruno.
All right.
Not that I don't love that game.